Test, test. Well, hello, everybody. We're back. We are back. So, good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight on Bar Talk Radio. We're broadcasting from the Consult mobile app studios here in beautiful Orlando, Florida. We're reaching out to New York, Chicago, San Diego, Orlando, and Tampa tonight. We are currently streaming on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. If you can't catch us, live, you can always catch our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play, iHeartRadio as well. Pretty much everything in our last radio show. We just kind of switched everything over, and we're doing this gig. So we thought it was important. We got some things we want to talk about this evening. We want to get into it here in just a second. We have the Nick with us, Nick Armato. He is with us. He's the co-host. We
here.
have, we've got him here. He's back. He's back in black. We have Chris Fry, Christopher G. Fry, Esquire. So,
to be formal.
Yeah, to be formal, Christopher G. Fry, Esquire. Chris.
Good evening.
Yeah,
ladies
Chris
and gentlemen.
is actually Chris is the president of the Consult mobile app. So very excited about that. We're going to talk to Chris about some stuff here in a few minutes. We have so we're excited. So there's a couple things I want to talk about, and I'm not going into this whole speech or this whole spiel or whatever. Look, I kind of wanted to talk to you. We have an app out. It's called Consult Mobile App. We actually got back into the radio because we missed it. It's just a great format and a great way to reach out to people and kind of get them involved with what we're doing. So we were thinking of all kinds of marketing aspects with Consult. We're saying, hey, what can we do? We're going to do some seminars in August. We're going to bounce around and do a bunch of meetings, and this app's coming out in May. Actually, about 10 more days it's coming out, and then the full version will be out in May. So we said, listen, how are we successful in reaching a ton of people like we did last time? And it might take us a little time to get back where we were, but the radio show and the podcast seemed to do the job, and it seemed to do the trick. So we are tying this into the Consult app, and we're going to talk a lot about Consult, but we're going to talk a lot about the law. Listen, me and Nick, a lot of people think attorneys are stuffy and they don't have any personality, but I will tell you, me and Nick have met some great legal professionals along the way. Really, really good people. So we're excited to be in this lane. It's not going to be like our last show where we got a bunch of drunks and in on the show and bouncing around. It's not going to be like that at all. It's more of a professional gig. And so let's get right into it, and then we'll talk about some things. I want to talk about the sponsors for the show. Obviously, the Consult app is one of our sponsors. Avo is one of our sponsors. You can see our sponsors streaming behind us. Wells Fargo, they're a leader in legal banking. We have LawPay. They're a leader in law billing. Billing and invoicing. They are absolutely awesome, and we're trying to work out a deal. Actually, the deal's already worked out to try to bring them involved and get them involved with the app and actually take the API, and so our app will actually be able to do billing and invoicing. So we're really excited about that. We met them at the at the ABA meeting in Chicago. Was that in February?
Yeah.
Yeah, February.
Yeah,
God,
end of
man, it
February.
just blew by, didn't it? End of February. We went up there, and what a great show. It's a tech show. It's for all the attorneys in the U.S., and it was just a great show. And we went up there and kind of showed people what we had, and we dropped a lot of jaws, and it was extraordinary. It was absolutely incredible. We had a great time. We were nervous. I tell this story all the time. We tried to cancel.
I was fine until we were leaving the hotel room to go there, and
Right.
we put the lanyards on,
right.
and I was like,
Right.
oh man, here it goes.
Yeah. So I'm just going to start with Consult. I want to get into Consult and how it started. So like 5 years ago, I had this idea of Consult, and then, I just took a different path, and every year it was like a different path and a different path. And we started a radio show. The radio show started to actually do fairly well. And we brought a lot of attention upon ourselves, and we went to a bigger format, to Sirius, and we actually canceled that deal. We walked away from Sirius. I don't know how many people actually walk away from those kind of deals, but we did. But me and Nick, Nick has been by my side this whole time, and we kind of had a feeling. It's been weird, but me and Nick have been in the same lane for a while. We kind of I know what he's thinking, he knows what I'm thinking. So I went to Nick one day. I said, listen, man, this Consult thing, I've been working on this even previous to the other show. I continued to work on it. And I said, listen, if we don't do this, man, and somebody else comes out with the idea or comes out with it, I'm gonna jump off a bridge. And so we just made the decision just to do it, and we are so glad we did. The response that has been overwhelming with this app. So many people have just it's been crazy. To say I'm excited about it is like an understatement.
Gross understatement.
Yeah, gross understatement.
Yes.
So everybody that's involved, all of our developers, Chris, everybody that's involved with this app is it's like having a pregnant wife about ready to give birth, because we're almost there. I mean, I think the water's breaking a little bit. I mean, maybe like, you know what I mean? It's like it's that close. So
Yeah, we're definitely starting to dilate.
yeah, we're
Centimeters
dilating.
dilated
Yeah,
there,
we're
yeah.
dilating.
Yeah,
So we
for
are
sure.
we're pumped. So we're excited. So that's where the consult deal came from. This is a 5-year project in the works for me. I've surrounded myself with a lot of great people, so that's where we stand with Consult. So we're very excited. So we started the radio show to basically reach out to the legal community, paralegals, attorneys, or whoever else we have to reach out to, and kind of get the information about Consult in their hands. The attorney response to this has been absolutely crazy. I get messages every day on LinkedIn and about, hey man, how do I get signed up? And unfortunately, the app's not out. If the app was out previous to this Corona or COVID-19 situation, previous to that, if we would have been out a couple months ago, we would have already had 10,000 subscribers. So it is what it is. I missed the boat on it, but it is what it is.
Well, I think when you explain exactly what it is, it'll make more sense with the COVID issue, because right now there's social distancing,
Right.
and people can't go and see their lawyers. And when you describe exactly what this app can do, I think people will get the picture. And not only does it have to be a national emergency type situation, but in everyday life, people have lives. Legal issues pop up. Trying to set appointments while you're trying to pick up your kids from school, things of that nature. This application is going to solve a lot of problems, and it's going to be a time saver for not only the attorneys, of course, who are always on the run, but also the clients and witnesses. It applies in so many applications, so to speak.
Right.
It's amazing.
No,
really.
I agree, man. I mean, you nailed it right on the head. I mean, it is a attorney-client communication platform that will just change everything. I mean, there's no more rushing to the attorney's office for the appointment. No more, Mark Cuban said it best, and we talked about this the other day. Mark Cuban came out and said, hey, look, it is an on-demand society right now and an on-demand economy. And he nailed it like right on the head. I mean, it just makes sense. We have millennials and Gen Zs out there right now. So when they want something, they want it now. They don't want to wait for it.
Exactly.
So this app, and a lot of clients now are Gen Zs and millennials. So this really fits in the tech industry. It fits in the tech lane. And I think this is going to be absolutely fantastic. So.
And it also fits into the lives of the users, because with many legal issues, too numerous to go through now, but maybe particular to criminal incidents or family law incidents, injunctions, things like that, time is of the essence, and people need an attorney, and they need an attorney now.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, that's like spot on. I mean, like, for example, and you know this and I know this, the regular format or the regular procedure for a person to actually have a consultation with an attorney was to call the attorney sets the appointment, and then it's either the next day or a couple days down the road. Well, what people don't realize is you're talking to millennials and you're talking to Gen Z. So what happens is when you set that appointment, don't count your chickens until they're hatched, because that client, that future client, is actually hanging the phone up, picking the phone back up. I'm talking old school, like hanging the phone up and picking the phone back up.
So after they hit the rotary dial.
Right. So they're actually calling another attorney right after you. So don't, like I said, don't count your chickens till they're hatched. These people want answers, and they want help, and they want to have this feeling of security now. They don't want to wait to do it. So this is great. So we're like I said, to say we're excited is just a gross understatement. We're very, very happy the way things have happened and the way things are fitting together. So, And we're happy to have Chris here. I mean, Chris, one of the best criminal attorneys in the whole country, no question about it. Chris, he's a stud when it comes to criminal law. Chris Fry, or Christopher G. Fry, Esquire.
Esquire.
You can call me Chris.
yeah, has really been, is really it. So I've known Chris for, how long have we known each other?
95,
Yeah,
96.
20 some odd years.
Seven.
So yeah, we've been friends ever since. And so I'm excited to surround myself. That was my one goal. Was I want to put this together, but I want to surround myself with just the best of the best and great people. And when we build our board of directors and all that, the same process. We need to put people around us that can help us and not hurt us. So
intelligent,
absolutely.
competent, and trustworthy.
Right, absolutely.
Polar opposite of what we are, so they can counterbalance what we got going.
Yeah. Like I'm actually considering, I don't even want to be on the board. So, I mean, that's the point. Like, I'm going to stay in my lane and in the dev office and work and do graphics and do, development. I could care less about being on the board, but it's nice to be surrounded with good people that are really going to propel you. So
exactly.
Yeah. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about some of the features. We're going to talk with Chris about some of the features that the Consult app has. But we want to go into a couple things. I want to talk about this COVID. Look, everybody's talking about Corona and COVID, and really, I don't know what to think. I was thinking about it today because I wanted to say something on it. I wanted to put something together on it. And it's all been about bad news. It's like bad news, bad news, bad news. COVID, more people have died, more people are sick, bad news, bad news. So I just want to kind of get into this because I kind of want to put my little twist on things and kind of let people know what I think. Everyone, including the media, is telling you and letting you know that it's a scary time. I mean, it's obvious, and it is. Look, it's a scary time. We've lost people, which is absolutely horrible. There are people that are sick, especially the elderly, which is absolutely horrible. But listen, we're getting something out of this that you might not, but it might not be so bad. Okay, don't start sending me messages now. I don't want to hear messages or like little things saying, "Hey, man, what do you mean it's not so bad? People are dying." I get that. I understand that. Okay, but as much as the virus has been a pain in the ass, it really has kind of woken this country up, hasn't it?
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest. So
perspective.
Absolutely. So
It's also showed flaws that people didn't know existed.
Absolutely. So let me explain what I mean. So no one ever saw this coming. We were not prepared for this at all. Now, I know we have Trump haters out there that say, "Hey, man, Trump didn't act fast enough," or whatever. Ask yourself a question. Has any of this ever happened before? Ever? It hasn't. So ask yourself, is anything like this ever happened? And how were you prepared? So how was the general public prepared? They weren't prepared. Nobody was prepared. You listened to fear-mongering news, and you went out and bought 600 rolls of toilet paper. So let's stop placing blame on people. Let's stop placing blame on everything, and let's kind of get to the brass tacks and really find out what this tragedy has really brought us. So we realize that Mother Nature can be as evil as she is beautiful. We know this. It basically threw a curveball to the world. I mean, everybody. We're not just talking the United States. Everybody. So So in saying this, let me explain why I think some good is coming out of this. It came out of it and is still coming out of this madness. Okay. To my surprise, more and more people came together, though. Did they not?
Oh,
more and more people came together like Americans. Remember the 50s and the 40s?
I think
when your
globally people have come together as well, which I think is another subset of that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I just want to talk about America right now. Because people have really come together to do whatever they had to do to deal with this problem. Not Americans, or not Republicans, not Democrats, but Americans, okay? So if you're not a government official and you don't have an agenda, give yourself an applause, because first responders, healthcare, everybody that's busted their ass, okay, to better for better, okay, and to help people and to help fellow Americans, we can't thank you enough. This has been absolutely amazing how people have come together and really just helped their neighbor. You haven't. When's the last time you've seen this?
Have you ever thought of a grocery guy stocking as being a frontline worker, like you are now?
Absolutely. I'm talking about
people that are working at
wiping down
7-Eleven.
Right. I'm talking about all the workers, everybody that's involved, and the people that are delivering the food for people. I mean, everybody that's out there.
Uber
it's been-
drivers.
yeah, their dedication and love for others and overshadowing everything else that this virus has done has been absolutely incredible. So when people say it was still it's crazy times, that's true, but it's also a time that we realize that the virus has defined us as Americans and what this country really stands for. You know, as Americans, brothers, sisters, humans, we really are badasses. We really are.
Oh yeah.
If you think about it, we really are. We adapt, we think, we overcome solutions. We come up with solutions to overcome problems. Doesn't matter how big they are. I mean, look what has happened. I mean, this is amazing. So, and to all my friends out there, look, we need to realize today, I'm pretty proud to be an American. I look back, you know, I for the last 10 years, I really haven't. I mean, just everything that's happening in this country, politically, whatever it may be, just the separation of people, it's really puts kind of a damper on how you feel about the country until now. Now, you look back, you look at the bigger picture, and it feels good to be an American. It feels good that everybody's come together, and really, doesn't matter what color your skin is, doesn't matter where you're from or whatever, you're helping
Sure.
everybody.
I mean,
So-
people sacrificing for other
Right.
people.
Right, absolutely. I mean, America's the greatest country in the world. I mean, there's no question about it. God bless America. God bless the people that lost their lives in this thing. God bless the people that lost family members. God bless the nurses, doctors, first responders, all the workers that busted their ass and didn't give up, and they helped other people. So we're going to move on. So
Hey.
I just wanted to kind of say something about that. I'm not going to come on here and make opinions or do anything like that. It's not a political statement on my part. But let's stop placing blame. It doesn't matter if you're blaming Democrats because Pelosi didn't get, wasted time. It doesn't matter if you're blaming Trump because, because he didn't get help fast enough. Look, it is what it is. We're all in this together. Let's stop placing blame. Let's look at the bigger picture. So I was really shocked how everybody came together. This could have been a real disaster. When my grandmother and my grandfather, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, they were in World War II. So what happens when you need to build ammunition and planes and stuff like that? The women went to work. Everybody helped each other out. Everybody did whatever they had to do for the country. And that's exactly what everybody did.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, and the citizenry as well. Everybody, is paying attention to the social distancing,
Right.
to staying in,
Right.
only going out when necessary.
Right.
And everybody knows, being locked up in an apartment or a house,
Right.
especially with multiple people in
Right.
there, it's difficult, and everybody is sacrificing
Yeah.
to whatever extent that they can, other than taking care of necessities.
Right.
And so it's a universal
Right.
American tradition. We come together in crisis.
Right.
Always have.
Right.
From
Always
the
have.
Revolutionary War.
Always have.
Right on forward.
Look, 9/11, man. When 9/11 happened,
Yeah.
everybody came together. I mean, it feels good. It's a feel good. Look, as much bad has come out of this virus, and as many people still say, "Oh my God, there's worse things to come" or whatever. It doesn't matter. We're all Americans. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna have better times. Everything's gonna come together. So stop stressing and just look at the bigger picture. And I mean, you had some families that actually got to stay home and spend time with their families. I mean, how
think
many?
it's a time to reflect,
Yeah,
right?
man.
And if there's, I think we're going to see a lot of people maybe rediscover
Right.
interests or reevaluate where they're at in life.
Right.
And I think there's going to be a lot of changes
Yeah.
coming forward that we'll see.
I agree.
And hopefully for the positive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's going to change a lot of things too with people and how they
It will.
work.
Yeah.
I mean, I think more people are going to be working from home. I think people are always going to have in the back of their mind have a backup plan. I think I just think it's going to change everything from here on out. So does the consult that fill that void? I mean, does it like just drop into that lake?
Man, it's like talking about hitting a sweet spot.
Yeah,
Right.
Yep.
yeah.
Like,
So we've been as miserable as it's been, and for everybody, because it's very difficult to do what everybody's doing. As hard as that's been, there is going to be a brighter day, and it's going to be quickly. It's going to be pretty soon. I don't think it's going to be too much longer, and we're going to get through this together.
patience.
And it feels good, man. It feels great. You watch the news, and they want to just throw a bunch of bad shit at you. Okay, a bunch of bad news and bad this and bad that, until you start seeing some good stories pop up. It feels good. It feels good to see. I mean, and these nurses and these first responders and these people, they need to pay them 5 times what they make. I mean, really, there is no amount of money that you could give these people for the value that they've given this country.
Oh, yeah.
None.
I agree.
Well, they're working around the clock.
Absolutely.
You know.
And also the little ones out there, the kids. I mean,
oh, yeah.
what they've had to give up, in whether it be sports,
School. Look at school,
fine
man.
arts
Their
or
friends.
school.
All
How
that.
about if you were graduating? I feel bad for the seniors.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a huge. That's really weighed heavily on me. Thinking what I got to experience, and clearly taking it for granted.
Sure.
And
some of them may not be able to walk with their class.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen exactly yet.
I have a cousin that was supposed to walk for her master's, and it was canceled.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it's a shame.
It's a crazy time, but it's something we're going to remember. But I don't know why I'm putting a positive twist on it. I just feel that something good has come out of this. Of all the bad and everything that's happened, all the people that have died worldwide. Nick was right. It's a worldwide issue.
Yes.
But I don't live worldwide. I live in America, and it feels good to be an American when you have all these people that have your back. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Well, if you think of it from a global perspective, everybody's dealing with this quarantining, right? Or trying to, right?
Right.
And we're all in the same boat at the same time.
Right.
And, you know, no matter what your politics are, we're all dealing with it.
Right.
You know, in our own ways, but it's happening to everybody simultaneously.
Right.
So
it's funny how the media and everybody throws politics in everything, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like everybody's to blame for something. You know, Pelosi's to blame for that. Trump's to blame for this, and whatever they don't. You know,
especially in an election year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
What are the odds?
Yeah, what are the
like,
odds? Yeah. So,
Start,
so good. And
loading up the slingshots, right?
yeah, exactly. So, so the whole mask thing. Did you guys hear about the mask thing? No. What do you guys think about the mask? I mean, this is important. I don't like I'm not going to wear a mask. I don't know. But now, if I was sick, and this is a true story. Let me talk about this real quick before we go into the mask issue. Me and Nick got really sick in January, into February. Into February. Me and Nick got really, really sick. I was in the hospital.
We were in New York.
Yes.
So, but we'd been bouncing back from New York to here and New York to here. And what I think is, I think I already had it. I think that that's how sick I was. It was really, really bad. So,
and we each presented with different symptoms.
Yeah.
But I definitely had the upper respiratory issues.
Yeah.
And
I had the fever.
Coughing,
I couldn't break the fever, man.
Waking up that one night and coughing so hard, like my rib, your ribs and you feel you did an ab workout.
Yeah. So the mask thing, I mean, look, if I was ill, if I was sick and I had it, I would certainly wear a mask to protect other people.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a class of people that.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know if I have it or I don't have it. I mean, do any of us? I mean, we haven't been tested. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to come out where they're going to test everybody.
No, I think the last report statistically were that 4 or 5 people in that area were contagious and didn't even know it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, what's crazy is the people that did know that they had it here locally, especially in Seminole County. There was a story where there were several people that
that's horrible.
Were going out, just running errands, knowing that they had it.
Yeah.
And that's
that was a little nuts.
There's
that's
always
very
exceptions.
Insensitive and selfish. And
so we'll go to the mask
bizarre.
thing. I choose not to wear a mask. I just choose not to. Kissimmee, Osceola County, came out and said, hey, you have to wear a mask or it's a misdemeanor. Okay. Well, they came out today and they retracted that where, it's not a misdemeanor, but we suggest you wear a mask. Now, I've heard 2 different things. Mask doesn't matter. Mask does matter. I choose not to wear it. Now, if they came out substantially and said, hey, look, you have to wear a mask. It matters. You're going to get people sick or you're going to protect yourself. I would wear a mask, but I'm up in the air with it. I don't wear one. I'm not around a lot of people.
Yeah. No.
I'm not around a lot of people. I'm not around anybody. I'm not a first responder.
We've been quarantining.
Yeah, we've been quarantining in the office, in the studio. So it is what it is. We've been.
But seriously, our contact with the outside world,
we've had none.
It's really, we go to the store, we're here.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Let's talk about the store.
Bank.
Let's talk about
when you say everybody is
The
adhering
toilet
to
paper
this, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you.
Yeah.
There are some people that are walking around in their own world, and they'll walk like right by it, know, and it's just like, I don't like people coming into my 3-foot area to begin with.
Yeah. I don't mind social distancing from here on out. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And that applies for women too. I don't mind the social distancing for women.
Yeah.
Just stay away from me. I'm bad news. Well, you're bad news, and I'm But Publix was weird. I pulled a manager aside 6 feet from me, and I said, "Listen,
explain the experience. How."
Okay. So we go into Publix. They have everything roped off. You're supposed to go one way, and you're supposed to follow. You're supposed to be like a sheep or a monkey or whatever, and follow the yellow brick road. Okay. So we went in. I understand it. Look, and me and Nick have come up with our own conclusion why Walmart and everybody else is doing this, and we'll get to that in a second. In fact, mention that in a second, because we know the real reason. Okay, we're not stupid. We're pretty smart guys. We know the real reason why people are doing this. But so we're going down the lane, and people are passing us, and we're passing other people down the lane going the same way. So I pull the manager aside. I'm like, listen, okay, I get what you're trying to do here, but if people are in the lane and they're passing each other in the lane going the same way, why would it matter if they were coming the other way? So does this make any sense? And the manager came right out and said, no, it makes absolutely no sense. And when they told me to do this to my store, I was up in arms about it because it makes absolutely no sense. So, Nick, why do you think that Publix and Walmart and all these people are doing this in the stores?
Risk management.
Risk management. They
Exactly.
don't want to get
sued. And I can tell you that the first class action, there's a suit right now against Walmart in Chicago, and 2 workers passed, 51-year-old and 48-year-old, and there is already a lawsuit that's been filed, and they said that Walmart didn't take action.
Sufficient measures.
Measures.
God.
Now the funny part is so this is already in motion. So Walmart, what do? They have you coming in one door, that you're going out another door. There's no traffic effort in the stores. So once you get in the store, you can do pretty much whatever you want.
Right.
And it's, they're going to make more money from just staying open than they will, paying the lawsuits. And that's the unfortunate thing about it. But it's managing risk.
Yeah.
Or pretending to manage the risk.
It is what it is, because when this is over, there's going to be a whole bunch of lawsuits out there. You better believe it. I already had a local attorney here in the area. We're not going to name names. Should I do it? No, I'm not going to do it. We're not going to name names. But
I still want you to hit play on
that. Already is talking about suing the cruise lines because, hey, were you on a cruise line? Was there Corona aboard? Let me know, because we're going to sue them. But unfortunately, you're not going to be able to sue them for anything because the cruise lines are going out of business. There's not going to be any cruise lines anymore because everybody's eating the bullet on this.
What's amazing is you see how who's operating on thin margins.
Oh, my God, everybody. Everybody. Everybody.
If this isn't like a wake-up call for your finances and how you live your life.
Yeah, we need to do that tomorrow. There's an interest that I have for small business because I love small businesses. Small businesses under 500 employees. But you need to maybe look tomorrow so we can and talk about this Friday. But I know AMC Theaters, they just declared bankruptcy. AMC Theaters. Okay, so obviously this is hurting big business and it's hurting small business. Obviously, we are more attached to small business because they're more local and we're around them
and more vulnerable.
And more, yes, absolutely, man. There was an attorney on today talking about, hey, do you have liability insurance? Do you have business liability insurance? Give me a call because I'll get you repaid. So it's going to be a splattering of lawsuits after this whole.
There'll be opportunists.
Thing. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the unfortunate thing,
yeah.
And it's not like anybody could have predicted a pandemic.
No, nobody could have.
That's like, come on, man.
Look, when something bad happens, what's the first thing somebody tries to do? It's place blame. Somebody wants to blame somebody for something. I mean, let's be honest. It's always somebody's fault. And really, this was Mother Nature, man. She don't play. Nope. She will weed you out.
Yeah.
She will kill the weak, and only the strong will survive. This has been going on since the dawn of time, and it's just we've had pandemics, we've had flus, we've had disease, whatever it may be. That's how Mother Nature works. It's how they work in the animal kingdom. That's how they work, and it works with humans. And the strong survive and the weak die, and it's unfortunate. The elderly and the young, the elder, and it didn't really affect young folks this time too
Some
much,
young folks have been affected, but
which is a blessing because they have their whole lives to live. But the elderly, it did. They and what I realized and what I noticed today, they were talking about a lot of these people that were in hospice. They were dying and they were tagging it with Corona. So they were already in there for a terminal illness and they were dying, and they would get corona and they would die, and they blamed it on corona and not heart disease or not something else. So I think these
The
numbers.
gentleman that they said with Walmart, they had mentioned in the article that he was, suffered from obesity and other medical issues.
Right.
And, clearly if you have a compromised immune system,
Right.
this is definitely going to take you out.
Absolutely.
Or
Right.
Yeah.
really wreck you,
Yeah.
and set you back.
I agree.
So,
And so those people obviously can understand wearing latex gloves or
for
non
sure. If
yeah.
you've had like
You
an
know,
organ transplant or some
mask.
sort of major
Yeah,
surgery,
right.
or you have a compromised immune system, like lupus or HIV. I mean, you get the hell home.
Yeah.
So our next show is going to be Friday, and we're going to talk about how coronas really affect small business in this area and all over the country, New York, Chicago, because me and Nick love both. I mean, we've traveled to New York and Chicago.
So many
quite
of our favorite places. I was thinking about our little place
Yeah.
in Little Italy.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
every
man.
place.
And
so
what
many
about
great people.
Nomo, the
Oh,
restaurant there?
yeah.
I mean, we support small business. Me and Nick are all about small business. We love small business.
You got to eat local.
Yeah. So, and it's affecting them. And if I was a billionaire right now, I'd help every one of them.
I got to say this. My compliments, and we spoke about this the other day, to the businesses that are changing on the fly,
Oh, dude.
and how
Yes.
they've created an opportunity
Right.
for not saying, well, there we go.
Well, let
What
me
are we
tell you.
supposed to do now?
Arthur's
yeah.
catering. So Arthur's Catering they're here. They're in Altamont Springs. So they do a ton of catering events, like conventions and things like that, and they cater to those types of venues. Obviously, their business went straight down the tubes. So all these conventions, everything was canceled. So the owner, smart guy, man, I want to meet this guy. Smart guy. He sticks and moves, and he says, "Wait a minute. Let's do a takeout. Let's do a carry-out or a takeout or what do they call
Delivery or
it? Delivery service for food. And what is it called when food's delivered to you? It's like you can buy the meal plans, like all that stuff. So he does it, but
Right.
for gourmet food. And he said it's been an absolute tremendous success. And he's actually going to add it to his when everything gets back. He's going to add it to his to what he does to his things. that
Just
he does.
another feather in their cap.
Just another feather in their cap, man. So, I mean, you have a lot of businesses out there that do it. I see a lot of businesses cooking and then, and having specials and doing whatever they can do. That's what I'm saying. Americans, we're smart, man. We're strong, we're smart, and we're resourceful, and we overcome a lot of shit. I mean, plain and simple, we really do.
Dude, how about the restaurants doing the cocktails to go? Man, it's like having a drive-through cocktail place now, right? I mean, how about that? A little shout out to some
That'll work
ingenuity
out
there.
great for the criminal defense
Yeah,
lawyers.
it's we're feeding.
Get the consult
Yeah.
app and
Yeah.
we're
Right.
ready to roll.
Right.
So you can get a cocktail from a bar now, okay? And even if they didn't have, you can get a cocktail from a bar. All they got to do is put a lid on it. That's,
Yeah,
that's
sounds like
the rule.
Louisiana. Sounds like New Orleans.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. No hurricane cup though.
Yeah.
No.
So, all right. So let's move off of COVID. I mean, it's a bad thing. We're going to talk about it again Friday when we have our other show. We're going to talk about how it's affected small business in this area, which it really has, including law firms. I mean, there's a lot of law firms out there suffering right now. And, the only advice that we can give, because we're not experts on law, we're not experts on telling you what to do. The only thing you can do is just hang on, man. Hang on as long as you can. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that you need to do these certain things to try to, bring your business back around. All I can tell you is just hang on. Just hang on.
We've got a suggestion.
We've got a
of
suggestion.
What you can do
Yeah.
with your business.
Yeah, we got a suggestion, but I can't tell you what
We're
to do.
gonna throw you a rope.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna throw you a rope. So let's get off the COVID thing and let's move into. You guys want to talk about? Before we get into consult, we're gonna talk about some features and stuff like that. This is kind of like an intro show. We didn't really have a script. We didn't have a lot to talk about. We just wanted to kind of get a feeling, and we're glad you're here to kind of go over some of the features for consult and let people and let attorneys know what this is, because this is for both users and attorneys.
Yes.
I mean, you have a lot of users that need an attorney. Well, why make a phone call and travel to an attorney's office to have a consultation when you can just download this app? It's free for you to use. You type in a few things, and you get a live local AVVO rated or AVO. Is it AVVO or AVO?
Avo.
I call it AVO. So,
Avo.
yeah, AVO rated attorney that's probably right up the road from you. It's going to make you feel better and going to consult with you
Can
right
we
over
say
the
it
phone.
with kind of a Avo? Does it make it sound like it's a little more
I love those guys.
useful?
I really love those
It's
guys, man.
it's a great.
They've been really good to us. They give
That's
us
a
the
good
API
tool,
and the
too.
key. Oh my God! Well, they're the world's leading referral, the world's leading referral and ratings.
Rating service,
rating
yes.
service for attorneys. Man, they are spectacular. So good for them, and I'm glad
Yeah,
that
they
they're
have
partners with us.
Peer reviews. They have attorneys who rank other attorneys,
Right.
or not necessarily rank them, but make comment on them.
Right.
They have client reviews that people can write in and
Yep.
say what they want to say.
It's awesome. You're a
It
10.
is. It's
You're a
great
10.0, aren't you? That's about
I
as
am
high
a
as you can
10.
get. Yeah. Chris is a 10. An Avo 10.
They don't judge on looks. We
Yeah,
can
they
assure you that.
Yeah.
Not around the waist, but just in the older years.
That's a 10.
Yeah.
I would have figured you for about an 8.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into without getting in too depth. Let's talk about this Consult app and kind of go into details on some of the features and how it's going to help users and how it's going to help attorneys. Now, like I said previous, if this app would have been out a couple months previous to this would have been a perfect solution, a perfect tool for
Yes.
attorneys to manage and to communicate with their clients. I mean, it really would have been the perfect tool to do that.
It's bridging the gap.
It really is.
It's bridging a gap, and we're solving, I think, an issue that clearly hasn't been addressed because, going to the tech show, we were shaking our heads going,
Yeah.
why does nobody
Yeah.
get this?
Yeah.
Why is this not? And look at now.
Yeah. Well,
What's-
nothing's pro-user. Everything's pro-attorney, which I
Right.
understand, but nothing is pro-user. Nothing is for the user. So the difficult thing has been for attorneys for a long, long time is to spend time with their client and make them feel good. Okay. There's a reason there's attorney jokes. There's a reason that some people have disdain for attorneys. But you pay the attorney's extremely, and he doesn't do this on purpose. He or she, the attorney, does not contact you on purpose. They are just so busy that they just they can't. So this app solves both those problems.
Yes.
The number one complaint in the U.S. Is 65% of the bar complaints in the U.S. are users complaining about the attorney relationship. My attorney never gets back with me. My attorney doesn't do this. My attorney doesn't do that. So there is a problem there. The number one complaint for attorneys is time. They don't have enough time in the day. A lot of attorneys, they waste up to 3 hours a day. I know 60 hours a month they waste in travel time and just in time in general, traveling from the courthouse to the office, and that's 60 hours a month of billable time. So this helps both. This helps both the attorney and it helps the client or the user. So,
Chris and I were talking today, and I think one of the things in mentioning, going a little deeper about this, in the attorney's defense, they do it all the time when they deal with people that are having issues. So they're like, they can say, hey, just relax, I got this.
correct.
But to the client, that's their world.
Right.
Correct.
And that's
yeah.
the only thing that they're obsessing
Right.
about, right?
Well, they're already nervous.
Yeah,
They're already
yeah,
nervous
and they're
about a
uneducated
case.
about the process and
right.
what's going to happen. They
they're-
want to get to the end.
they're already timid.
And the attorney's like, look, don't worry, I got this, I'll handle this, But the clients are like, no, this is my
Right.
life. This
Well,
is my well-being. And
It's hard to trust.
Sure.
Even today, it's hard to trust. So, it's not like being a doctor. So you meet a doctor. The doctor, is with you, diagnoses your issue. The doctor is with you every step of the way, all the treatments, all the procedures, everything. So you build a bond. You build a bond with that doctor. You don't see people complaining about their doctors too much. They have a bond and they have a trust there. Attorneys, it's not there. So we're gonna get it there because with some of these features, that client can actually be completely involved in the case. That everything that's put in that app is transparent, and that client knows what's going on with this case at all times. So there's no, oh, my attorney didn't get a hold of me, or my attorney didn't do this. Well, the attorney shared notes with you, shared tasks with you, shared documents with you, and you are on top of your case at all times in real time. So
And on behalf of the attorneys, there are many things that have to be accommodated or taken care of by the client because the attorney was not involved in
Correct.
the situation that's has the legal issue. And many times the attorney needs the client's assistance and it's not there, or there's a lack of communication, or you hear, a 6 o'clock or an 8 o'clock at night phone call the day before a hearing. Oh, hey, I got information for you. You know, and,
Right. Let
you
me
know,
text it to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and send you,
Yeah.
a 30-page contract in
Right.
JPEGs. You know, like I'm gonna do. What am I gonna do with this? You know,
Right,
it's 11:30 at night.
Right,
You
right.
know, so
Well, let's start. Let's go over some features. Let's just talk about some features. Let's just knock them out right off the bat, and let's just go into them. So, this is what the app's going to have, and this is what the app's going to. We've put a lot into this, and all these features basically came from attorneys. I mean, this is everything that they wanted, and we put in this app. This app is not a CRM. This app is a communication tool for the attorney and for the client. It's going to help better communicate between the two and build a bond and build some trust. And
Transparency.
it's transparency. It is absolutely incredible. We are blessed from the response that we've gotten from this app. When we went to ABA and talked to some bigwigs up in ABA and actually had some conversations, the response that we got from them was just we left Chicago about 100 times more excited than we did when we went. So,
and just for the audience who is unaware, the ABA simply stands for the American Bar Association.
Yep.
yeah.
So
We went to the American Bar Association tech meeting. So they have a tech conference every year,
Yep.
and it's the largest one in the world, and it's huge. And you have thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and everybody brings their new tech products, and everybody brings
I think there were a couple hundred vendors.
a couple hundred vendors. So
the
it was a
latest
big
and
event.
greatest.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
let's face it, like most everything that's going on in society now, law is moving toward tech.
Absolutely, it has to, because if it doesn't, it's going to die. I mean, you
Correct.
have to stick and move.
Yeah,
we were just talking about this.
This
yeah.
is really the calm before the storm in
Right.
terms. I mean, there's been implementation of things, but there's more coming. Rest assured, there's
Right.
more coming.
Absolutely.
Right. And just to quote a good friend of mine who's a brilliant attorney, the old brick and mortar law offices, are fading away with the tech.
Absolutely. And let me say this. Let me say this. If you think for a minute that Corona or COVID-19 or whatever you want to call this disaster that we just went through, and we're still going through it, it's not quite over yet, isn't in the back of attorneys' minds when it's over, you're crazy. That they are thinking about this, and they're going to continue to think, because they're going to lose their law practice. I mean, if you can't communicate with your clients and you don't have a way to do that, and look, FaceTime is not a way to do it. Zoom is not a way to do it.
Yeah.
It's not secure. Everything that's in the app is encrypted and it's absolutely secure. Everything from instant messaging to HD video chat, everything is secure. It's all
Phone
within the app.
calls.
Phone call, everything. So
So
it's a game changer.
Right. And going into the app, you can begin with how you get into the app. And that is a two-step authentication process.
Absolutely.
For security.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we have two-step authentication similar to Google and similar to the others that when you first go into the app, it will send you a message or send you a code on your phone, and you have to get into the app. So if you have a wife or you have a girlfriend or something like that, she'll never, your app will never be compromised. You will be the only one to be able to get into your app.
And it's also, what I really like is that it's a comprehensive, almost encapsulated form of communication between the attorney and client and vice versa, in that you have a fully secure encrypted platform that includes not only video conferencing or telephone calls. Now, you think about just in the way practices run now, you're getting text messages, you're getting emails, you're getting telephone calls from God knows where. You don't know who's standing in the background when they're talking for attorney-client privilege reasons, because many clients don't understand that they could waive the privilege if things are discussed in the presence of other people. And this application addresses all of those issues.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's
the complete package
Right.
for communicating with your client or between the attorney and the client.
right.
And it's kind of like, we kind of tossed the phrase around the other day, your client becomes your co-counsel.
Right. I love that. You came up with that.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to throw that in.
I was waiting.
Well-
There was.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I can't believe he waited 44 minutes to get that in. I was like, when's he going to flip the client
But
as
you
your
know,
co-counsel line?
I've used it for years because I in my practice, and I have close to 250 jury trials to verdict under my belt. One of the, and all lawyers are different in how they approach things, but to me, I loved having the communication, even to the extent where, you know, you're up until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning preparing for trial with your client and going through each and everything, so they know exactly what the game plan is, where the strengths are, where the weaknesses are.
Right.
And with this application, it extends it from trial prep through from, you know,
Day
your
one, really.
initial consultation or intake right through
Right.
the termination of the case and the resolution.
Yeah, and there's no stopgap in the information
Right.
process.
Right.
You know, it's just you have that transparency, which is huge.
Right.
You know, you can put a note in, boom, they get a
Yeah, you can share it. Yeah, everything is. It's just a smooth operator, dude. This app is just smooth. It's absolutely just everything runs the way it's supposed to run. Everything does what it's supposed to do, and it bridges, like you said, it bridges that gap and it builds a It's a game changer. It's going to
man.
revolutionize the way clients and attorneys communicate. No question about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I know that people every time we show it to an attorney, the response is exactly the same. Wait, this isn't out there yet?
Yeah.
This isn't out now?
Right.
And no, it's
We get
not.
that response a lot.
May.
All constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the
Well-
first thing the attorney, that's the first thing they say, man, what? This is genius. This isn't out yet? It's like, no, if it was out yet, you'd have it.
oh, then there are
Duh.
the naysayers who are like, well, if there's something like this would have worked, it's so brilliant.
Right.
Somebody should have thought about it by
Right.
now.
Right. Right.
Well,
His
guess
name's
what?
Dave.
Yeah.
They haven't.
Right,
His name's
right.
Dave.
Yeah, his name's Dave. So
He woke
no.
up in the middle of the night and wrote
Yeah.
on a pad.
Yeah. So this HD, so the video is
Oh,
really,
man.
really, I mean, it's obviously the premise of the
As
app.
good as we
Oh,
thought that
yes.
it was.
Yeah. So we had made some changes in the video and the way the video is going to perform for both the user and the client. We actually chose to use HD video, so you're not going to have that mess that called, you know, FaceTime or that mess you call Skype. It's not like that at all. So
Oh, yeah. When you're in the middle of an important sentence and all of a sudden it's paused.
Yeah, right.
Or there's some blurry picture
Right,
and it's
right.
like, are you still there?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
do.
Nobody's going to look like squares.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Pixelated.
Pixelated.
Yeah. We did it the right way. We absolutely did it the right way.
Yeah, speeding up the frames per second is what made that better.
Yeah,
right?
it's doing that, and then understanding 5G is not out everywhere, so
Yeah.
there's certain things you can tweak and do to still get that HD video with lower streams of internet of service. There's things you can do that other people just don't think of doing. So that's what we've done, and our developers have been hand in hand. I mean, are our developers not geniuses? These guys are freaking
Man,
incredible.
they're
dude.
awesome.
They are.
They
They're-
really are, man. You know, they've really done it the right way and quickly.
I was
gotten it
just
done.
going to say, you
Yeah.
want to talk about, you know, in the legal profession, as many people or those who happen to have been involved in it or are involved in it, deadlines are everything.
Absolutely.
And these guys are just nailing it. You give them an idea in the morning, say, hey, can we do this? Can we
Right.
do that? And by 3:30, 4 o'clock, it's done.
It feels good, and I'm glad I'm back there with them. I mean, I'm glad
Yeah.
I moved
Oh,
everything
yes.
back there because you know, obviously I'm a front end guy and I do the graphics and the design and stuff like that, and it's nice to be able to say, get an opinion or say, hey, look, you know, I want to put this here, I want to put that there, and it's something they can do immediately. I don't have to call New York or Chicago or wherever else, you know, and say, hey, look, this is what I want, and have to wait. You know, being in control
Or
of your-
negotiate what
Yeah,
what
or
you're
negotiate.
allowed to have.
Yeah, exactly. So being in control of your dev team and everybody that's involved, and dev is short for development, so I just
Correct.
call it dev.
And how much has it changed just on the fly by coming up with
Well, it's
scenarios?
amazing.
That you
I mean,
think
we
of?
made
You know,
changes today. I mean, we made
Right.
changes today. One of the changes today was, you know, that we're going to implement. We have a list view of the attorneys that you can click on and have a free consultation with, and it's based on, you know, you have 2 sponsored ones, and the rest are based on GPS, which are closest to you wherever you're located. Well, you might be at work, or you might be at home, or you want an attorney that's closer to your home or an attorney that's closer to your work. So we are, with a button, we're going to have a map view. So now the map view will pop up, and you'll be able to click one that's closer to either your work or your home or whatever you prefer to have a consultation with that could actually stem into you hiring that attorney and building a relationship with that attorney and then moving forward. So that's the whole premise of the app. you
And
know?
it can be as immediate as that face-to-face conversation,
Absolutely.
which is
Yeah.
not available anywhere
else. Nobody.
else.
You know, we and the steps to take, really, it takes literally like 2 minutes to like type in some stuff and put some things in and pick the type of attorney that you need, and you're live with an attorney. There's no waiting. There's none of that involved. So it's a quick program, quick fix. Boom, boom, boom. You're done. You've got a live attorney that you can talk to immediately about the issue that you're having or about a case that you've just been involved in, whether that's family law, criminal, personal injury, probate, whatever it may be. You have an attorney at the palm of your hands. So
Sure. And on that note, since we've been talking a little bit about the app, we have our note sheet here, and we have the real-time cross-platform app website, iPad, etc.
That's right.
So let's I think maybe a brief description of what the Consult mobile app does, and then how it crosses into those platforms.
Well, we were really like involved in what the attorneys wanted. And we realized a lot of attorneys, they work from their office or they work from their laptop at home or their office at home. And we wanted to put something together to where this would be accessible on a website as well, a secure website. So we put the time in and we chose to do it a certain way. And it's worked out beautifully to where the app, if something's changed on the app, it's real time, it's changed in the website. If something's changed on the website, it's changed immediately real time on the app. That means the calendar or whatever you use in that, it cross platforms and it works together. Plus, we wanted something really attractive and something nice as far as the video, streaming the video and doing all of that and the instant messaging. So the website is really incredible. The platform that it's set up in the website, it's also HD. Everything just runs really, really smooth. It's a badass. I'm telling you.
It looks amazing.
It really is. It looks really, really good. We didn't want to put, and look, we've seen what's out there. We went to the tech show. And we've done our research. I mean, we've put me and Nick, and our team, everybody here, including Chris, me, you, everybody, we've put hours and hours and hours and hours in developing this, and that means a lot of research and a lot of data. And that research that we looked at some of these other websites and some of their platforms and some of their things, it's just really, most of them are just clunky and they don't function correctly. They're confusing.
And they only service the attorneys.
Yeah, and they only service the attorneys. It's not for the user. So we wanted to change that. We definitely wanted to make a change with that, and we did. And so the website's absolutely fantastic.
The whole thing is, it looks good though. The way the quickness of the app.
Oh, it's sexy, man. That's the first thing I can. It's just a sexy platform on all platforms.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You hit the video, and we were like, "How long would you wait for a video?" And I'm like, "Well, it depends." And
Right.
we're talking. Put a disclaimer in there of how long. And we're thinking, this might take a little bit.
Right.
Dude, you hit the button, boom.
Right.
It's like.
It's like answering the phone. They're there.
It's right there, and it really is that quick. And
Right.
That was crazy. And then the picture quality again.
It's crazy. It's beautiful.
It's surpassed anything that we thought that we would have.
Yeah.
And our expectations were really high.
It's beautiful. Yeah. We put everything. It's the best of the best. Everything that we've done has been for this app. Everything that we've put together has been for this app. We haven't really skimped on pricing. We haven't skimped on this. Everything that we've put together and developed, every bit of code that we do, every bit of graphics and platform that we use is the best of the best. And it just has to be that way. You're dealing with attorneys and you're dealing with people that need an attorney quick. It's first class, straight off the board. There are no shortcuts, nothing. Everything was done the right way. And another thing I want to talk about was, for the attorneys, what's the first thing the attorney does when he's talking, he's having a consultation, and the client says, listen, I really enjoy talking to you. I think you can help me. I would love for you to be my attorney. The first thing that has to be sent is what? An intake form, right?
Correct.
So we have actually built an intake form to where the intake form can actually be sent directly from the video. So it can be sent digitally. The client can fill out the digital intake form. It can be sent back and put in the document storage. And once that's done, that document can actually be filed with the clerk's office, right? Through an office. It can be filed with the clerk, or what is it called?
E-filing.
E-filing. and now you are the attorney on record. So solving all of that, all of those things quickly is fantastic. Now she feels at ease, or he feels at ease, whoever your client is, they feel at ease. You're already starting to build that trust. You're offering your new client technology that she's never seen or he's never seen before. So you're already a superhero for not making the client have to drive down to your office to sit there
Correct.
and sit in traffic and have to come meet you. You've just done a consultation over the phone. You're now inviting that client to your dashboard to where if she wants to have another video consultation with you, you're there for another video consultation. You offer that client instant messaging. Basically, she can get a hold of you at any time.
Correct.
She can send you a message. She can do whatever.
As the attorney, you can come out of the courthouse, a hearing, whatever you may be there for, whether it's dropping off pleadings or what have you, jump in your car, hit your cell phone, and have the face-to-face consultation right then and there, take care of whatever issues that are. Oftentimes, it's just a simple question, but the client doesn't understand because they're not an attorney. They haven't gone through the system before. Maybe they have, and they're confusing issues or what have you. And you can take care of it before you even leave the courthouse parking lot. And in many cases, have another client signed up
Right.
and paid and ready to roll,
Right.
and you can shoot out a notice of appearance
Right.
from your car.
Right. It's just man, it's sexy.
My favorite is the push notifications.
The pushers are great.
Yes.
But I want to, we never talked about stats. And obviously, the more that we do these shows, the more that we're going to talk about the Consult app. But the stats are crazy. When we did our research, it was important to find out the closing ratio for the attorney, because we're pro attorney and we're pro user. We want this to work for both.
Correct.
Because it's not a good product if it doesn't work for both.
No.
Okay, so we're pro attorney, and we want that attorney to be able to have an easier way to obtain a client. So we put figures together, and after talking to hundreds and thousands of attorneys, okay, we realized that the closing ratio for a phone call and an appointment is 15%. So out of 100 people that you have a phone conversation with, you're going to close 15, okay? The closing ratio for a face-to-face consultation, meaning that client that you're talking to that just got the DUI feels comfortable, safe, secure, you're already starting to build trust with a face-to-face consultation, it closes at 72%.
That's amazing.
So the disparity, the difference between 15 and 72% is absolutely mind-blowing. But that's where people's psyche is. They want trust right off the bat, and you don't get that over a phone call. You just don't. You don't get that over a phone call, and as we mentioned before, when somebody calls, you set an appointment, the minute you hang the phone up, that client is calling somebody else to get immediate gratification, immediate answers to the problems that they're having. It's just that simple.
It is.
So that intake form plays a huge part. I mean, you can send the intake form, boom, boom, bada bing, bada boom. You got a client, and you're already starting to build that trust.
And another thing is, in real life practice, with attorneys, from the attorney's standpoint, again, I guess I, through 30 years experience, have a bit to add on that. Oftentimes you get people who call in to the attorney and want to talk to the attorney on behalf of somebody else.
Right.
Perhaps they might be in custody. They may have a bond that's high in a criminal case. They might not be available or be on a business trip for a family law issue or mediation where the attorneys can't get together, or whatever the issue may be. And with the use of the application, you have this instant communication. And not only that, but the application, the Consult app, gives them the ability to invite other people into
Absolutely.
the conversation.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You might want to mention that.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. I mean, a
You
lot of times, people can be invited in. A lot of times you might have a firm, and Chris, you might be assigned to a client. You might have a client, but you might have to take vacation or something happens. You get ill, whatever may happen. You can easily add another attorney to that, so where you can actually talk to one person, more than one person. So it's basically a platform that everybody that's handling your case or doing your case can all communicate at the same time. No, it's fantastic. It's there's nothing better. It's the Consult app. May 2020. Yeah.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah,
man.
we're looking
excited.
really forward to it. So back to had you mentioned push notifications. So you have done some stats. We've done stats on push notifications. So what are those
I think
stats?
it's one of the most shocking statistics that I came across. So emails, we talk about mailers, we talk about emails and all that other stuff. Emails are opened up 4% of the time. Push notifications, 90% open rate.
Another huge gap.
That's unbelievable. When I read that, I'm like, serious? I couldn't believe that. I was like, man, I wouldn't have thought that. I would have thought email might have been 40,
Right.
50%,
Right.
4%
That's crazy.
versus 90%.
That's nuts. So what did we add? We added push notifications for a firm. So for example, you might have a firm that has 20 attorneys. They might have 10,000 clients. Well, this would have been a perfect situation for that attorney to reach out as far as the COVID and let all their clients know, give them a message, give them some inspirational stuff, and let them know, hey, everything's going to be okay. We're still here for you, with just a few touches and a few pushes of a couple buttons. What they can do is they can type in their push notification. They can choose to who they share it with, all their clients, or they can have groups, or they can share it could be inter-office where they just share it with the attorneys and press a button. And that push notification goes out to all of their clients and lets them know that message immediately. Everybody opens a push notification. So that's staggering, and that's included in this app. So attorneys, as far as marketing is concerned, they get to use that whenever they want. And it's a great tool to let your clients know and stay informed with your clients. Let your clients stay informed of what's going on in the office.
And that's another good point that you inadvertently said. Everything that we're discussing here with regard to the application is included in the application.
Right.
It's not a la carte.
Right.
It's not one of these sites where you
Right.
pay a
Right.
certain fee per month for a subscription, and then to get these different functions, you have to pay an additional $15 or
Right.
$12.50 for
Right.
this, and add-ons. And by the time you get through with it,
Right.
it's not what it's advertised to be.
Right. Well, and we added these things because we thought this was important. So the video phone chats that you can have, the HD video, is unlimited. You can have as many as you want. Client onboarding, if we sign up a firm and the firm says, hey, look, I have 300 attorneys and I've got 100,000 clients, there's no extra charge to add all of those clients. So the client onboarding, you can have unlimited. You can bring on as many clients as you want.
And it's free to the user.
And it's free to that's what I'm saying. It's free for them. They don't have to. It doesn't cost them any money. The other thing that is that's important is oh geez, I forget what I was going to say.
It's all important.
Yeah, it's all important. But just there's a lot. Cloud storage. It's unlimited. So if you're an attorney and you need cloud storage and you need to store documents, whether you're storing documents for your client that you and your client share, or private documents, or whatever those may be, it's unlimited. We're not going to nickel and dime you to death. We have one set price, which we're not going to go over this evening, but we have one set price for the app, and that's what it is. And there's no nickel and diming. There's nothing like that. It is a complete package. It is a complete communication tool for the client and the attorney, and like I said, it's going to revolutionize the way clients and attorneys communicate. So obviously our hour has blown by. We were only going to do an hour show, and it's already what is it, 8:03. But there's so many new features and so many things we're going to talk about again. I don't know if Chris is going to be here Friday. I'm not quite sure. You're traveling back and forth. But if you want to be here Friday, we can get back on and start talking about. I want to talk about Friday. When we do our show Friday, I want to talk about how COVID has, how some of these businesses have reacted to COVID, and some of these businesses are really struggling. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about some other features, some added features like, firm white labeling. I mean, we didn't even get into that. I mean, that's huge. Hashtags. Yeah, we didn't even get into that. We there's a lot of things that we didn't get into that I want to talk about Friday.
Let's make them wait.
So yeah, we're gonna make you wait, and to say the least, we're very excited. We're excited about everything. We're glad you tuned in. I don't know how many people tuned in tonight, but we're gonna, if you don't know about Consult, you're gonna know about Consult.
It's gonna be a household name.
It's gonna be a household name.
And going back to the very beginning of our radio production today, I don't know if you did mention, so we'll mention it again because I think it's important, is that in accordance with the information provided by the American Bar Association, Florida Bar Association, the biggest complaint of clients in dealing with attorneys is lack of communication. And I can tell you as an attorney, and oftentimes a very busy attorney when you're in trial, et cetera, nobody's case is more important than another person's case, because that person's case, as Nick mentioned before, that's their world as long as that case is pending. And so you have to pay attention to each and every client. There's no hierarchy. Sometimes there is in scheduling, because obviously if you have a trial,
right,
you just have to take care of things. So when you have access, and that's what this application gives you, it gives you access to your attorney and
vice versa.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that means so much to the client,
right?
Because you can be doing literally hundreds of hours of work on their case. You can have investigators involved. You could be doing, setting depositions. You can be doing any number of things in furtherance or to the betterment of your client's case, but they're not going to know about it until
That's
you
right.
tell them about
That's
it.
right.
So in their mind, they're sitting back, and every day seems like a month, and they're thinking, "Where is this guy?"
Right.
We're
going to solve that problem. We're going to solve that
Right.
problem. Absolutely. Well, good. So we will talk. So we hate to let you go because we could talk about this all night, really.
Yes.
I mean, we really could.
We can go on and on and on.
Yeah, we could go on and on. But listen, we want to thank Chris. Thanks, Chris, for being here. Chris is
Thank you.
will be here full time in May, right? May,
Yes.
you're coming full time, so we're super excited about that. Nick, thank you. We appreciate it. And thanks to everybody that tuned in. We're gonna have more and more people tune in because we're very excited about this, and we're gonna have some features. We're gonna talk about some. When you tune in, we're not going to just talk about the consult app. We wanted to do that tonight because we're excited about it. And we kind of want to let everybody know
we're
about
introducing
it.
the product.
Right,
Sure.
right. But we're going to have all kinds of things. We're going to talk about DUI laws, gun laws, things that are changing as of today and as of this week. Laws change every day. So we're going to talk about some cool stuff. We're going to have some guests come in, some attorney guests come in, have a cocktail, relax. A lot of people think these attorneys are stuffy. They really have another side. They really are good people. Like I said, we've run into some great law professionals. We really have.
Yeah.
And
passionate.
Yeah, really passionate about helping people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
when you listen, yeah, exactly. Change people's lives. We know when, and I've known you for years. I've known you for 20 years, and I know how passionate. That's why you would get in trouble for pulling clients aside and actually during your intake, actually having 40-minute conversations because you want to get to know your client. So, so you're a perfect fit for this, Chris. You really are. We're so happy that you're involved with this. We think you're a huge asset for us. So we appreciate you. And Nick, you're okay. We appreciate you too.
Hey.
So, but I'm going to let everybody go. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and we will talk to you. We're going to have another show Friday, 7 to 8. We don't really have a set show schedule right now. We kind of wanted to get a show out of the way and kind of make sure that all of our video was working and stuff that I didn't even press tonight. So
Right.
make sure the audio is working great, the video is working great, and then we're going to progress from there. So thanks for tuning in. Anything else, Chris?
Anybody who did tune in, pass on the word to other people. It's an hour show, and with each show, you're going to learn more and more about this application and what this product can do.
Yeah.
And when you start hearing the finer points and some of the more major points that we haven't been able to get to in this introductory show, it's
mind-blowing.
really staggering.
Yeah.
As to what this is capable of doing.
Like I said, and I'll say
It's
it
going to
one
blow
more
your
time.
wig back.
It
It's
will.
like,
I was a hippie when we got started.
so I'm going to say it one more time. This mobile application, Consult, is going to revolutionize the way that clients and attorneys communicate from here on out. With everything that's happening in the world today and the way the world's changing,
Yeah.
85% of all purchases and all business transactions within 5 years will be done on a mobile app. We are in the right lane, and we're doing everything the right way, and we're going to help people. We're going to help attorneys, and we're going to help users, and we're going to bring them together because happy clients refer.
Exactly.
And that's what it's all about. You want to make, and if you get some satisfaction out of helping a client. I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
These attorneys don't get into business just for the money. A lot of them are getting into business. I mean, I've known attorneys that don't make anything, but their main goal and their passion is to help other people.
Yep.
So
Yes.
me and Nick have found that out. So we didn't run into the stuffy attorneys. We ran into the attorneys that actually care. So it's been a blessing. So thanks for tuning in. We will see you Friday, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. We got some other show stuff we're going to talk about. We have some other features we're going to talk about. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the Consult app. So thanks very
Stay
much,
safe.
everybody. Yeah, stay safe.
Home.
Stay home. Stay safe. This is going to be over with. God bless everybody. God bless those healthcare workers, everybody that's busted their ass to get us through this.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.